Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out This Is Why I Love Toronto, the best city in Canada. So, is Toronto the best city in Canada? We're going to learn today. I actually don't know much about Toronto, but what I do know is that it is the biggest city in Canada, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Let me know in the comments if it is. If you're from Canada, let me know. Thank you very much. Guys, today is my birthday. Okay, today is my birthday, April 2nd. Just so you know, I was almost born on April Fool's, April 1st. That would have been bad, but I'm glad it's April 2nd instead of the 1st. Oh my goodness, dude. I'm so glad. I dodged a bullet there, guys. But without further ado, let's get right into the video.
Welcome
what do we got?
to
let's
my
learn more
former
about Toronto.
home, my friends. Welcome to the biggest city in Canada, which is...
The biggest city in Canada. Okay. So this is like the #1 city.
Is Toronto.
It's the only one I ever hear about.
Or Toronto, if you're actually from here. So I moved to this fabulous city about 10 years ago now and lived here for almost 7. I have been a resident of...
Man, she's lived here for 7 years in Toronto? That's crazy. So she knows a lot then for sure. What I could say so far, just looking at these videos she's showing, it looks nice. It looks nice out there. Maybe not as nice as the United States, but it looks nice.
I have been a resident
This looks nice. Like this area right here. Is this like a park?
Of Calgary for the last few years, just because I needed my mom's place as a home base as I was moving around the different parts of the world. So that is actually why I moved. And now that I'm moving even further away from Canada, I'm actually here in the city right now because I'm in the process of getting my immigration visa to move outside of Canada. But if I was to still live in Canada...
Where are you going? Like, are you going to move, you're going to take all your stuff and you're going to get a new house in a new area? Or, are you just going to visit somewhere else, like a different country?
Full-time, Canada, full-time. This is definitely the city that I would have as my home base. Okay. Now, before I get into my reasons of why I think Toronto is so great, I do feel like I have to address the fact that last year I did make a video saying how you shouldn't move here. Things have gotten worse. But to be fair, that's not just Toronto, that's a lot of Canada. Unfortunately, there has been some really negative changes in the last few years. So I did want to be...
When did this video come out? Hold on. 1 year ago. Okay. So yeah, a year ago, I'm pretty sure their housing crisis was exploding. Houses were so unaffordable. I think they're still unaffordable. And people just cannot afford them. People aren't making enough money to live in Canada anymore. That's what I've been hearing. So let me know if that's true in the comments.
Upfront with you guys that there are definitely things that I'm not happy about that have changed here.
Toronto sees troubling rise in youth gun violence, fatal shootings. Yikes, man. That's what happens here in the U.S. too.
Are definitely things that I'm...
Toronto newcomers paying up to 12 months rent up front to secure housing. Oh my goodness. That is crazy. So yeah, this is what I was talking about. The housing market just crashing. Man.
I'm not happy about.
And that's kind of what happened in the United States as well. But ours is a different reason, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Let me know in the comments, but we have unaffordable housing here in America as well. Now, there is some states with really good affordable housing, and then other states where, you genuinely cannot afford any housing ever. For example, I live in California, and our housing here is terrible. It costs so much money just to buy a house. It's pretty much impossible, so...
that have changed here in Toronto. It's not exactly the same city that I lived in when...
Growing number of homeless people turning to ERs for shelter and warmth. What is an ER? Oh, an emergency room. Duh. It's just the context in which it was used, I did not understand. Okay, ER. So they're turning to the emergency rooms, the hospitals. Okay.
And I first moved here, but even with the changes, to be honest, if I was to live somewhere in Canada, this is where I would choose.
Okay.
So let's get into the top 10 reasons of why I would choose to live in Toronto above other big major cities in Canada, and why I think other people choose it as well. I think the first reason on the list is quite obvious and probably most people's main reason, which is opportunity. Toronto being the largest city in Canada, it obviously has the widest range of industries to choose from if you're looking to advance your career.
That's true. Big cities normally have all the opportunities because all the work is there, all the industries are there, and You just have a lot more opportunities than like a small town or something like that. So
you're in finance, advertising, manufacturing, technology, the entertainment industry, retail, the list goes on. Many large companies choose to have their Canadian headquarters here, so of course living in the city you have more potential opportunities to land your dream job.
Makes sense.
But keep in mind that this also means that there is far more competition than there would be anywhere else in Canada.
Yeah, that's also true as well, man. You know, big cities have all the opportunities, but at the same time, they have all the people. So you're going to be competing with a lot of people, so it just makes it a little bit harder for sure. A lot harder, I should say.
For those top level jobs.
Right. Toronto fire truck. Look at that fire truck, man. It looks similar to a fire truck in America, but also different. Very different.
Now, my second reason
is that the Dollar General right behind her?
Why Toronto is my favorite city in Canada.
Oh, the Laura. I was like, yo, is that a Dollar General?
Canada, and why I chose to
why
move
is it on the second floor
here 10 years ago. It is definitely the pace.
The fast pace,
city.
Yep.
Even though
just
Vancouver,
like New York
too, has a lot.
And London and all sorts of places.
Going on.
All the big cities.
So does Montreal, so does Calgary in its own way. But Toronto is definitely the fastest. And I think that's a universal thing that, especially when you are young, you are looking for the kind of place that has a lot going on,
That's true.
Where you can meet a lot of new people. And in Canada, Toronto is definitely that kind of place. That's why it makes me especially sad. That
I would love to visit Toronto. I would love to visit anywhere in Canada, but Toronto seems like a really good place, a really nice place.
In this day and age when the city has become so insanely expensive, I think it is pushing out a lot of younger people because it is just impossible to survive here unless you have a really well-paying job or like 3 roommates. Yeah. So it would definitely break my heart if it gets to a point where all the young people are being pushed out of this city, and especially the creative types, people like myself that technically moved here for the film industry or the music industry, hoping to make a difference, hoping to do.
Especially if you're just starting out. Like if you're doing music, if you're making music, if you're making YouTube videos, if you're a content creator online, TikTok, Instagram, wherever you're doing your content creation, right? Or even just in the film industry or whatever, if you're doing that and you're just starting out, like it's really hard to make a lot of money doing that right off the bat. You're going to have to do it for years. So the fact that Toronto is like so expensive to live now, it's just making it so hard for those creative people. And they're definitely going to get pushed out, and they are being pushed out.
What they love, but it's just impossible to sustain yourself, especially when you're starting out, when things are so expensive.
Yeah,
my third reason for wanting to live in Toronto was definitely the pretty good weather conditions.
Okay.
I grew up in Saskatchewan.
I mean, it does look nice. Look at this. We got a nice blue sky. Okay, we got nice greenery. We got tree. It looks like there's a whole forest right here. Like, what is going on? Is this a park? This definitely has to be a park. There's people sitting here, people right there. Oh, this is definitely a park.
And so maybe you can understand the kind of winter hell.
I love how you can just see, like, the city and the skyline. Oh, my God. I like the cold. Okay, I don't like it too cold. That would be too cold for me. But like, I like the cold versus the hot. Because when you're too hot, you can take off clothes, but you can only go so far, you know what I'm saying? But when it's cold outside, you can just layer up as much as you want until you're warm enough.
The
Said I don't like the heat, but I like the sun. I like it when it's light outside and it's not dark and gloomy.
I picked
I don't think I know anything about Canada's public transport. Huh. Like, we learned about the UK public transport. Like, in London, they have the tube, the underground system. We learned about that in a video. But, I've never learned anything about Canada.
BC is not amazing, especially recently. It has certainly had and has its problems, but it has.
I'm just like looking at how clean it is, bro. Oh, there's something on the floor right there. But I mean, for the most part, it doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look that bad. Big city like that, you kind of want good public transport. Because, like, in a big city like this, you're going to get traffic. And a lot of people don't want to drive, especially if they don't have to. And normally when you're in this scenario in, like, a big city like this, you can just walk to work. Or you can take public transport to work. But if the public transport sucks, like apparently it does in Canada or Toronto, then that's not going to work for you. I thought she was talking about Toronto. I guess she was talking about the other place, in Canada. Okay, so Toronto's not too bad. Like, you can get around on Toronto public transport, but, like, other places in Canada suck, apparently.
It is actually...
What is this? We got Spice 66, kebabs, got pita bread, and we got, like, a taco house. I would love to know their prices. Ooh, $16.99 for chicken mandi. Is that a good price? I think that's not too bad, right? I mean, this is like a Mexican or a pita place. I don't know, man. I don't know what type of food this would be. Oh, it says right here, Lebanese cuisine. Wait, authentic Lebanese cuisine. I've never seen any Lebanese food, so I don't know what that looks like. It looks like Mexican food. I'm sorry, it just does. Just from looking at it at a glance, it looks like Mexican food, but $16.99 is not too bad. $12.99 for a chicken. Okay, these are decent prices. I don't think these are too bad. As long as the portion sizes are good.
Miss so much when I'm not in the city.
Steak and cheese. Ooh, you guys got Philly cheesesteaks? Breakfast for lunch. Okay. You know, here in America, we have breakfast for dinner. We don't have breakfast for lunch. Sometimes we do. Maybe. You know, some people. But a lot of times, people here like to have breakfast for dinner. For some reason, it's just like a national thing. Okay? It's just here in America, breakfast for dinner. Not all the time, but like, you know, sometimes.
Incredible. Cheers. Delish.
What is that?
So guys, before I forget, one thing that I made last year but strangely never let you know about here on my YouTube is that I actually made a Toronto Google Maps travel guide similar to the ones that I've made about Bangkok and also Bali, basically making a digital travel map that imports directly into Google Maps, so you have pins of all of my favorite restaurants, attractions, shopping, like all of the places that you would really only know if you've spent a long time in the city. So if you guys are
Yep, and she spent 7 years, so she's been here for a really long time. Yeah, really cool, man. So she sells these. Okay. She sells them. So $20 in Canadian currency for this travel guide. Interesting. Get that bread.
Interested in
Get
picking it up. It is only 20 Canadian dollars, which is like 15 US marmalade, and I think you would find it really helpful.
Shout out to you.
Nature in Toronto. Believe it or
got?
not, for a big city, Toronto
Ducks,
actually has
geese?
quite a few green spaces like High Park, Trinity Bellwoods, Evergreen Brickworks, and of course we can't forget about Lake Ontario, which it is set on. Just a beautiful boardwalk down by the water, and also there is Toronto Island that makes for a great day trip. So having access to those kinds of places definitely makes it easier to live in a concrete jungle.
Everything I've seen so far.
Now, the next point on
it looks really nice here, man.
my list is definitely diversity. And I'm not talking about just population. It is very well known that Toronto is, an incredibly...
Why you should visit Toronto, the world's most diverse city. Really? The world's most diverse city. So, like, even more diverse than America? That's crazy.
Diverse and multicultural city, but I'm actually talking more about the neighborhoods of the city that really stand out to me. Yes, a lot of cities in Canada do have, interesting little neighborhoods as well, but nowhere do they range so wide as here in Toronto. Within a span of blocks, I can go from Chinatown to Koreatown to Little Italy, where I am currently staying, Kensington Market. Like, the list goes on and on
so
of
just
all
like,
the different...
You can go through these different cultures, basically. Like, you can walk a very short distance and go from culture to culture, but it's still in Toronto. That's crazy, man.
Districts that the city has to offer, and that's why I lived here for so long, is because...
I just noticed that bus right there, or train, that's a public transport? So it just goes through the city? In the middle of the road? Interesting. We don't have anything like that in America. Like, there's specific tracks that they build, and it's nowhere near cars. Okay, it's nowhere like this in the middle of the road. That's crazy.
There is an unending amount of neighborhoods to explore.
Next on my list is film, art, and culture. As you guys know, I moved to Toronto for the...
Hold on.
Culture.
Look at that in the background. Who made that? Dude, that must have taken so long. It's so big, too. Bro.
As you guys know, I
had to hop on the crane? Like, how did they get
Toronto for the film industry because it really is...
Simply... What is that? Is that like one of your drinks you have?
Only Vancouver.
Shake Shack. Dude, I wish I had a Shake Shack. Man, I've heard it's so good. In my city in California, we don't have a Shake Shack. But we do have an In-N-Out.
Toronto, where you could have a lot of opportunities in that regard. But even as someone who just appreciates film, art, music, culture, this is a great city to have such a wide variety of events. And Toronto is home to the Toronto International Film Festival, otherwise known as TIFF.
I've heard of that.
Every year, celebrities from all around the world come out
that were like entered into that competition or show
to promote their films.
Festival.
So if you're somebody who's really into the arts like I am, or even just really big cultural events like, Toronto Pride, for example. So
Pizza? No, they stole that, bro. They stole that from Little Caesars.
So much fun. There's just always something going on and so many things to see.
Dude, that bus right there, that white bus?
So much fun. There's just always something.
Why does it have like almost the exact same logo as like our USPS shipping carriers? Bro.
Going on and so
it's
many
a giant
things
USPS bus.
See and do.
And lastly, my very favorite, you could say, thing.
Look at that, dude. The bus is just going throughout the road. Like, dude, if we had that here, it would be crashing into everything.
About living in Toronto and why I will be back is the people.
The people,
of course,
okay.
Canadians share
I've heard
many
they're really nice
similarities,
people.
no matter which city you go to or small town, whatever. But I will say that the people here in Toronto overall are my kind of people.
Okay.
Of course, I can't paint everyone with a broad stroke, but usually if you move to the biggest city in a country and you have a dream and you have a passion and you're here to actualize it, those are my kind of people. I've made some of my best friends that I've ever had in life in this city, and they are the reason that I will be back. And I think if you are a Canadian that is looking for a place to just really go for it, to try a new idea, this is probably the city that it is most likely to happen in. So even though it has its problems, as I said in my last video, I still think Toronto is an amazing city. I am forever grateful for the time that I have had here and for all the lessons I have learned in the process. So I hope you guys found this video interesting. If you are thinking of moving here, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And also, if you are interested in picking up my Toronto Google Maps travel guide,
go grab her Google Maps travel guide. Support her channel, man. Yo, this is a very interesting video. Very good to learn more about Toronto and how it's the most diverse. More diverse than the United States? That's crazy,
is actually
like, because America is usually thought about as like the most diverse country on earth, but like this city is the most diverse city in the world, not just in, you know, America, in the world. So that's crazy to me, man. The weather does look nice. The weather looks amazing. It feels like there's a lot of creative people here for sure. Very interesting video though, guys. I really want to learn more about the public transport, because like, once again, we did a video on the tube in London. And I want to learn more about Toronto's public transport, because she said it was decent. You can get around on it. But like other places in Canada, it just sucks. That's what she said. She said it sucks. So I want to learn more about it, man. I definitely do. Let me know if you guys want to see a video on the public transport, because I will definitely do that very, very soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.